daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Daily Newcastle podcast. I am still not used to that intro. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's going to take me a while. I think it's the word soccer, right? We've got lots of nice, lovely, yes, exactly, American listeners who we love, but as a Englishman, it's just really strange to get used to. Anyway, Daily Newcastle. I'm joined by Ian McKay, who put on a great American accent there. Soccer. Are you okay, Ian? It's been ages since we've been on together. How are you doing?
I'm good. I know. I was going to say, I used to know a fella that looked a bit like you. I did a podcast with him a couple of years ago. Kev, he was called. No, how are you,
lad.
mate?
Handsome lad.
First
I'm all right.
First one of the season for us together.
Oh, is it really? Oh my God.
That's scary.
You can tell life's been a bit hectic. But anyway, I am delighted to have Ian, and I'm also delighted to have Joe. Joe, we've done a couple together, so you haven't forgot us yet, have you?
No, I mean, how can we forget that face anyway, Kev, to be fair? But yeah, always a pleasure, obviously.
Right. Well,
it's either the face that only a mother could love, or I heard somebody say Kev's got a face that you just can't help punching. And once you've started, you can't stop.
That was
like
Nicola.
Pringles.
Nicola said that, yeah.
That was Nicola, yeah.
Ironically, was a Pringle herself, so yeah.
And I think my mother does still love us, so I think you're right on both, if I'm honest, Ian.
There we go. 100% accuracy, that's what you get from me. No entertainment, just accuracy.
Just
straight
accuracy.
up facts.
Just plain, boring accuracy. Anyway, speaking of boring, Leeds v Newcastle, we're kind of going to review it in the first part. Second part, we're going to talk about our new £69 million signing. Oh my God, what a baller he looks. And then in part 3, we're going to talk about the deadline day, because there's loads of stuff which could possibly happen. So let's start with Newcastle v Leeds. I'm going to come to each of you, and I think the best way to do this one, a little bit different style-wise, is just to go through one or two things we want to mention and take away from that game. It could be anything to do with performance, tactics, lineups, individuals, anything you want. Just one or two takeaways. We might have a little discussion about it if any of us disagree, but we probably won't on this one. So one or two takeaways. Me and Ian, as I say it all the time, are absolute gentlemen. So we'll go to Joe first, ladies first. What are your two takeaways from that, Joe?
Two. Well, I said it from the start that when the lineup came out, it did look a bit weird because Sky Sports put it out almost as if we were going to play the 4-3-3 with those people, and I thought that doesn't look right. Lo and behold, it wasn't 4-3-3, and I don't know, that got me straight away because I just thought it was a bit of a weird tactic to play against Leeds, because I think Leeds should have been one that we just absolutely went at, and it just seemed a bit too defensively minded. I know you've got the wing backs going forward and stuff, but just in general, I didn't like it from the start. So the formation kind of threw me. But he did change it throughout the match, so that's fair enough. But it was just so lackluster, wasn't that game? Like, I don't know. It's hard to take positives, but the only positive is we're going to lose, kind of clutching at straws. But it's just the kind of shift or the difference between the Liverpool match and that. And I know everyone will be like, oh, everyone's up for the match. I get that. But it shouldn't be such a kind of downgrade from one match to the next sort of thing. And again, I know people will say, look, Joe, there was multiple subs, etc., etc. But yeah, my main take was the fact that we played the wrong formation from the start. Everyone seemed out of sorts, and I don't know whether it was down to that or other factors involved. I don't know, but everyone just did not seem right that day, did it?
Ian, do you agree with them? And what do you want to add?
I was surprised. Three centre halves, definitely, and I'm not sure Leeds was. Well, my knee-jerk reaction, Leeds wasn't the right game for that, but we're away from home at Leeds. The last time Leeds, now because of the international break, when Leeds next play at home, they will be unbeaten at home for more than 12 months. Mm-hmm. So, given that we have played really well and got 1 point out of the first two games, I don't blame Howe for being safety first and making sure that we get something out of this game. I think he's let down by the individual performances of the people that he picked, though. I thought Ramsey did quite well. I thought Murphy was a little bit. I know he had the two shots, but he didn't do a lot more than that. Bruno was awful.
Yep.
You couldn't have guessed how bad Bruno was going to be. And you take out Gordon and Joe Linton from that as well. It's a stuttering performance, isn't it? And like you say, Joe, we take the point from it and we move on. I think we've got 2 home games to come after the international break, so hopefully we can correct our points tally quickly.
Yeah, I think with the formation's the main one, isn't it? I think I was surprised, but I wasn't. I don't know if it was the wrong decision because Botman had a great first half, and he either had a great first half because we were so out of sorts and letting them attack and giving them opportunities to come forward, or Botman had a great first half because the formation was actually set up perfectly, kind of withstand their early pressure. I think we grew into the game. I think by the time half time came, we were the better team, and we probably didn't want half time out of the 2. But I think early on, Leeds were the better team. I think what is interesting is Dan Burn went back to left back at the start of the second half. Not many people have mentioned this really, but Burn was actually left back and Tino went up as a winger. So he did go back to 4-3-3 earlier than what some people thought. People thought the changing point was kind of a 60-minute mark or when Miley came on. But that was half time. But when I can't remember who it was who came on, but we thought it was about the hour mark. But actually, we went to 4 at the back at just start the second half. So I think in terms of the right decision, it's impossible to tell. I think, like Ian said, I was going to mention it. Leeds' home record. I know it's in the Championship, most of it, but it's insanely good. So they're obviously a very good team at home. And I think, personally, the only thing I would add is for how I think with missing Gordon and obviously Izak, he wanted to make sure we were still in the game come the end of it, and then hopefully kind of have more energy and more legs and more fitness to blow them away or have a little bit more off the bench. But I think it's pretty obvious he doesn't fully trust Asula setting up that way for his first start. As soon as first start, he's went 5 at the back to pretty much say, I don't know if I trust you that much. I think Gordon was a big miss as well. So I think what we're going to kind of do really is, just before we go to the end of part 1, is we are on, unfortunately, we're only on 2 points after our first 3 games. International break, earliest one ever. My question is, has it come at a right time or a bad time? I'm undecided. I think in terms of Joe Linton's injury, maybe it is the right time, but I would be desperate to play next week with a new signing and Wolves at home without this blooming international break. Ian, has it come at a right time, or do you think it might derail us even more?
No, I think it's come at the right time. Tonali will be properly fit. Joe Linton hopefully will be back. I don't know if Nick Valtemada is going to be away with Germany or not.
He's been selected for Germany, yeah.
If he's away with Germany, then it's going to make no difference at all. I was hoping he would be not selected for Germany, or he'd be still under 21. He's 23 though, isn't he? I don't know how he played for the under 21s. There
German
you go.
first team.
So it probably doesn't make any difference either way. He's not going to have done very much training with his new first team mates. But if he goes away to play for Germany and scores a couple, then he'll come back even more confident. So I don't know. I don't think it makes any odds.
Just don't get injured.
I'd like to get.
Well, there is that. Can you imagine?
Hall with another couple of weeks training under his belt, and Joe Linton fit again, and Tonali properly recovered.
Big miss, Joe.
I think that helps.
Yeah.
Joe, same.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie mentioned it as well, that he would have loved Nick to have been around and not have to go straight away for, his international duty. But like we've just said, it's not a bad thing that we've got another international in our team as well, is it really? So as long as he comes back unscathed, and like you say, Ian, if he comes back after some level of a decent performance, if he's obviously played, I don't know what the lineup's going to be for Germany, that's obviously going to benefit as well, because he's going to come back with some confidence, isn't he, really? But I think overall, I'm happy that there's an international break in a way, because I think we kind of need to take that time. I think there's been a lot happen in 3 games, and it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster between the 3 games, hasn't it? Especially the first 2, because I wouldn't say that the Leeds game was an emotional roller coaster, more of a we could have played forever and it still would have been 0-0 kind of game. Because from both sides, I'm not going to lie, I couldn't see anything happening from Leeds' side either. In fact, we had 1 more shot on target than Leeds, so that's how bad that game was. But it was just one of those games, wasn't it? Like it was, when you were watching and you're just thinking, may as well just blow the whistle now, because it's ending 0-0 no matter what happens. So yeah,
it was a tough watch. But I mean, look, I said on the Liverpool pod that we played very well and got nothing. I said there'll be games where we don't play well and get something. I know it's only a point, but we probably didn't play well enough to deserve anything, really. I think against another team or another day. But again, look, I think Liverpool emotionally probably took a lot out of us, and there was probably a little bit of a hangover from that. I know people will raise their hands and be like, whoa, you can't say they're tired or emotionally took out of them after day 3 or week 3, but it will play a big part. Go on, Ian, before I go to break.
It was a stat I heard, and I thought it was quite a dull game. However, there's only ever been one previous Premier League match that had a lower expected
XG.
goals total. It was the second lowest XG of any Premier League game, and it looked like it. To be honest,
Yeah.
it was dreadful, wasn't it?
It's still not the worst game of a weekend. Still not the worst game of a weekend. The Old Firm was the worst game of a weekend. That was horrendous. I'll offend more Celtic fans who absolutely came for me during the pre-season. So I can't wait to hear from them again. Right, we're gonna quickly go to our break. We're gonna have our mini international break with a message from Bioniq.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimize your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Wonderful. Right. Leeds is out the way. Our first advert's out the way. Let's talk about Nick Valtemada, or should I say Fernando Berbercrouch, because when I've been watching him on YouTube, my God, he's a mix of Fernando Torres. He's got the hair. He's got pace. He's got the Berbatov touch. And I mean, he's 6'6" or whatever he is. So he's pretty much Peter Crouch as well, isn't he? So what a signing he is in 3. I think actually, me not being the most patriotic Englishman, I'll probably be watching more of Germany's games in this international break than I will England's, just because I can't wait to watch him play. I'm very, very excited about him. However, transfer deadline ends as people tune into this and stream it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The transfer window closes at 7 p.m. on Monday. So
tonight, Kev. Tonight, 7 p.m.
Tonight, as you're listening, yeah.
Like at 7 p.m. tonight as people listen. God, I'll never get used to that. I'm so strange. Anyway, could Valtemada play with Izak is the question I want to ask, right? Because Izak has been this massive, goddamn horrendous story throughout pretty much the whole of this transfer window. It is going to come to an end tonight. Does he leave? Does he stay? Can he stay? I know Howe said he wants to reintegrate him and the owners have met with him, but I just think it's such a different story for fans. But is Valtemada going to play with Izak? Is he going to play instead of Izak? Is Izak going to go? And then we'll talk about potentially getting one more in. But just for now, Izak, stay or go, play with Valtemada, or is Valtemada a replacement? Joe looks very undecided, so I'm going to come to Joe first. Come on, Joe. What's your true thoughts? Get that emotional reaction.
No, I don't want him to. I want him to go. I want him to get one more in tomorrow, and I want him to go. I'm done. I want Liverpool to come back in with at least 130. I want Izak to go. I want us having another strike. I want this whole thing over with. I do appreciate there is a very, very slim chance that this might not happen and Izak really might stay. However, I think it's going to be hard, very, very hard to integrate him back in.
Excite you? Like I've said my opinions on Izak, right, in terms of I'm disgusted with his behaviour because he should never refuse to play. But just imagine him and Valtemada together. Like it's a handful.
I understand what you're saying. Do you think he's going to give his all ever? If he has to play, because that's the situation, isn't it, Kev?
Yeah, if he has to play.
He has to play, he'll be in the most massive Hulk.
Sulk?
You know what I'm sulk. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm there for you.
He'll be in a Hulk of a sulk if he has to stay, and that's probably what I was thinking on. But no, realistically, it is. He'll feel trapped, and the whole free Izak thing will be all over the internet again because that's obviously hilarious. But yeah, no, come on, because he's not going to give his all for us. He'll then just be pushing through till January, where this whole saga will begin again. So I am absolutely not in the camp for Izak staying in any format. So please,
Ian,
God, let this all be over tomorrow. Today.
it will be over tomorrow. One way or the other, Joe, it will be over.
Will be over
right?
tomorrow.
Tonight, it will
Good.
be over. We just don't
Good.
know exactly
Roll on
what's
7
happening
p.m. Monday.
as we're recording. So, Ian, are you excited at the prospect of Izak and Valtemada playing together? I mean, that's 120, 130 million pounds worth of striker talent up front together. Or like me and Joe, I think I'm probably in Joe's camp as well in terms of I want him gone. I think it's unforgivable to refuse to play for a club. Ian, how are you feeling about Izak? Stay, go, what?
Well, I don't think he'd be playing alongside Valtemada. Whether he goes or not, I think people are underestimating the hurt feelings of the chairman and the owner, Jamie Rubin, flying in and going to his house to have a last, come on, mate, play for us. We'll get you sorted next year. To be told, no thanks, I'm not doing that. So, unless we have a second striker bought tomorrow and Liverpool come in and offer, Liverpool can't come in and say, we offered you 110, we're happy to go to 120 with another 5 on top. I think Piff will hang on to him. I think they're of a mind to say, no, you haven't, you've known what the conditions are. And I think they'll hang on to him. I don't think necessarily if they can get the second striker in, I don't think they'll even play him. I'd love him to be picked and go as a substitute and not be brought on every game between now and Christmas and then sell him.
Make him turn up for each
That's
game.
crazy,
With
isn't
no
it?
intention of
I
playing.
think I know, but I think what he did is astounding. I mean,
I agree.
two fingers in the face of the owners who
Yeah.
made a special trip. Izak was the chairman's favourite player, and he's even that personal appeal can't get him to relent for the 12 or 15 games he'd have to play between now and Christmas. So I think I think that we will get another striker in, but I think unlikely that Liverpool are going to offer enough for us to say, okay, that's fine. You've met all of the criteria, and I think they will just hang on to him. They'll just say no, you haven't met it, and he'll just swing in the wind until they do.
See, I'd love that to be true as a fan because for me, right, Michael Owen gets loads of stick, and I know there was kind of talk about did he refuse to play against Villa, but he was on the bench, or he said he was fit enough to be on the bench, but Michael Owen at least ran his contract down and honoured his contract and trained and didn't really refuse to play. And Michael Owen gets loads of stick, right? You can argue rightly or wrongly so. Michael Owen gets loads of stick, but he never,
And
ever, ever
he did
said,
score. He did score a load of goals as well.
He did. But Michael Owen never, ever, ever said, and I always felt a little bit sorry for Michael Owen, to be fair, because I know he gets loads of stick, but when you read his book and he says that Newcastle fans were not threatening, but abusing his family and his wife and his kids. And he was like, why would I want to play for that team or try? So he just started collecting money and all that stuff, right? But at least he honoured his contract. What Izak's done is so much worse. So I would love to see him rot and I'd love to see him sit on the bench. But we've been seeing on this pod, especially us three, the three OGs, right? We've been saying on this pod, we're going to need a big sale, whether it was Bruno or whether it was Gordon. This is our chance, surely, to free the shackles of the financial fair play, the PSR as it is now. This is our opportunity to get the 120. I know we want 150, but this is our opportunity to make that big sale. A player doesn't want to be here anyway. If we let him rot, we're probably only going to get what? Let's say he lasts the whole season. He doesn't go in January. What you're going to get next year if he doesn't play or makes 10 appearances in a year, you might get, 60 million for him. You get your money back. This is our opportunity to cash in.
Kev, you still get your 120. And
You
remember,
can't
we wouldn't sell for 60.
If he doesn't play for a year, you
sums-
can't get 120 for him.
the sums aren't done until the end of June, right? So he can be here right the way through to the season. Then you've got a month to sell him. We want 150. Hey, if you're offering 120, that's a 20% discount for somebody. And do you think Barcelona or Real Madrid or PSG or Bayern Munich who are going to have a Harry Kane who's a year older, and Barcelona with Lewandowski on crutches are going to worry about the fact that he's just been training but not playing at Newcastle for a year? It's just like he had a cruciate ligament injury. He won't drop. We can get with a 20% discount from one of the European teams what Liverpool are offering now. We'll take it. And then that would still work.
I think it's hard to get that money. It's hard to get that money if he doesn't play for you. I think at the minute, the reason he's stock's so high, and we're talking about the hundreds of millions, is because he's got 20-odd goals last year, and the year before that, he got 20-odd goals. So that's what 40-something, 50 goals in the last 2 years. That's why you're demanding that money. I think if he doesn't play for a year, well, it's hard for the owners. You've got to set a precedent, but I don't know if anybody comes in with that type of money if he hasn't played for a year.
He's been sitting doing nothing.
You'll still be banging the goals in for the under-21s, under-23s.
Oh, God, yeah.
Against Whitley Bay.
And Sweden.
Can you imagine?
And Sweden.
Well, yeah, look, he's still going to get games for Sweden, isn't he? Because he's not going to get dropped. I think it's been pretty clear that people are talking about it being a World Cup year, and is he so stupid in a World Cup year? I reckon, genuinely, right, if we did what Ian's just said, which I do think is a hilarious idea, by the way,
I like the idea.
that he would still play for but I reckon he'll still play in the World Cup, so I think it means Jack Hawks. I think the Swedish stance is that they're going to play him regardless, and that they're actually on his side about it all. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to scupper that sort of chance.
What does that tell Jokeres, though, in Elanga? It's like, it doesn't matter if you play, lads. Izak's going to start anyway. I think you would get a bit of unrest in the Swedish camp.
You would, I get that.
Going into the World Cup, Jokeres would be like, well, I've played for Arsenal all season. Why on earth is he getting played in front of me? And then Elanga would be like, well, you're now putting Izak out wide to accommodate Jokeres, and I've been playing for Newcastle all season. Why am I getting... It would have knock-on effect. I think it's tough. It's impossible to really know what will happen. But
maybe Izak can continue to sit on the bench for Sweden after sitting on the bench for Newcastle all season.
He can sit on everyone's bench, yeah.
Right. Anyway, we are going to.
I don't know.
We are going to talk about in our part 3. We are going to talk about a potential income. And Eddie Howe has said, it's not breaking news, but I'll pretend it is. He has said, not directly to me because I'm not in the know, but he has said to everybody. That he wants at least one more player, right? So there's 2 obvious players most Newcastle fans who are half kind of been following this will know about. We're going to talk about them in the next part to see which one will come in. But before that, Joe's going to give us our very own Zencastr advert.
Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs. It's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Lovely stuff, Joe. Fantastic. Right. 2 players. Both didn't play at the weekend for their clubs. One, there's talk that he's refusing in terms of Johan Wissa, and the other one was because his head wasn't in the right place, apparently. Jørgen Strand-Larsen for Wolves, who, weirdly enough, 3 days before, scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. So I don't know where they came up with that. But it's interesting to kind of follow this on. The first bit I want to touch on, because we've had this thrown at us Newcastle fans the whole summer. Well, if you won't forgive Izak, why would you want Wissa? Well, Wissa's now done it, Izak, and he's down tools. He's give a statement on social media. However, there's 2 main differences. I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm going to go first this time. And I'm going to read out just a little bit of... I mean, Wissa's statement is massive, by the way. It's a big, big statement. This isn't just like a Instagram snap. This is big. So I'm going to skip the kind of first 50 words, and I'm just going to start at the most important parts and the detail he's given. So Wissa's statement says, earlier this summer, I held open discussions with the club's senior management, including key directors and the new head coach. I made clear my intention to explore a new challenge. During these conversations, it was confirmed to me and my representatives that the club would not stand in my way if a reasonable offer was received. This was also put in writing. Whoa, there's a difference already, isn't it? Based on this understanding, I sought to find a new club, keeping Brentford informed with full transparency at every step. I received a formal offer from another Premier League club. I wonder who that is, bearing in mind the only one's Newcastle. And communicated I wanted to join. I was under the impression from all my conversations with Brentford that there was a mutual agreement to part ways. Yet, as the window comes to an end, the club has now significantly changed its position, going against what was communicated and left me in a difficult and frustrating position. It goes on more about promises, but I'm not going to bore everybody. You can find it on pretty much any social media platform Wissa has. Well, it's a bit different from Izak's statement, isn't it?
Very.
So there's lots of detail there. Izak was very
different, yeah.
The club have known for ages, but I've said on a previous pod, the club hadn't have known for ages because they wouldn't have done a shirt release with you and Tino Asprilla in. They wouldn't have let Callum Wilson go. Well done, Callum, by the way, scoring for West Ham today.
Absolutely.
The the club wouldn't have made them decisions if they knew that you were going no matter what. There might have been a conversation about I would like to go, but there was definitely nothing confirmed. So how do we feel about Wissa now? Has it changed your stance? I know when I spoke previously with Joe, Nicola and Michael, that we've kind of said, can we be hypocrites? So I kind of want to get Ian's thoughts with that statement before we look at Strand-Larsen as well. So Ian, Wissa, are you that bothered about the statement? Are you that bothered about him going on strike and us being hypocrites? Do you want him? Do you not want him? What's a crack? What's your opinion on Wissa, Ian?
I think Wissa would be a great addition.
I agree.
And I don't have any great moral high ground to stand on and preach, to be honest. I want Newcastle to get a second striker. You know, Liverpool aren't going to be running around with their tails between their legs, apologising that Izak scored 2 more this weekend. That's why they're 12 points clear at the top, are they? And I think it's the same. I mean, perhaps Wissa has got a stronger position to
Have we lost Ian?
come offline.
Have we lost
What's
Ian?
happened there, kids?
Let's see if
What's
Ian
happened?
comes back. Joe.
Shall I say what I feel?
Yeah,
He's going to come right in the middle of my speeches.
Oh,
I'm back. I'm
No,
back.
we've lost
I'm
Ian.
back. I think.
And he's
hang
back.
on.
I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah, I am
Carry
back.
on, Ian. What do you think about
We
Yes,
lost you,
so-
perhaps, Ian.
So I think Wissa maybe has got a slightly stronger argument if he's got this thing written down. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's the
know
difference.
it came out that Keith Andrews said that he felt that Wissa still owed him because half his goals last year came from free kick routines they'd worked on. That seems a bit tenuous, certainly to go against a promise that's put down in writing. But they're players, aren't they? The players.
Yeah.
I don't think Wissa has done anywhere near as shady an action as Izak has.
I
Although
agree. Yes, Ian.
it's the last day of the window before he's come out with his statement, and he looks like he's every right to be a bit frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think that's the main difference. I think Izak probably did have conversations. Again, it's all maybe or whatever, but he probably did have conversations about wanting to leave and go to a bigger club, and we get that. But clearly nothing was written down, or your agent's so incompetent it wasn't put in your contract. If this is written down, then Wissa probably does have a right to feel aggravated. I know whoever sees this on TikTok, because our TikTok comments are wild at the minute. We are getting 30,000 views, which is nice, but it's mental that people will attack us here. They will come for us and they will say, what's the difference? So, Joe, what is the difference? Why? I agree with Ian, by the way. I think what Wissa's done is it's not ideal because just like Brentford and Newcastle and Izak and Brentford and Wissa, the club have made that player before these players came to these clubs that didn't really have this superstar reputation. So,
True.
what are your thoughts on the difference between Wissa and Izak, Joe, before we move on?
Look, we've had this conversation before, and I've said I wouldn't be a hypocrite, because I'm not saying what Vissa's done is absolutely perfect or anything like that. It's not. But it is 100% not on the same level as Izak. And anyone that wants to come at us or attack us like they love to do, they're absolutely uneducated on the fact on both sides of things. They need to re-look into exactly what Izak's done and then exactly what Vissa's done before they can say anything. Because Izak is... to literally say he's on a next level with this, it really is on a next level. I mean, Wissa has at times even trained with the squad as well, so it's not like he's completely. Izak has completely segregated himself from that team.
Yep.
He doesn't see them. He doesn't do anything with them. All right, he might have a few mates that he might ring and text. We don't know about that. But in terms of actually spending any time with the actual team or how or anything like that, and like you say, to top it off what Ian said before, he literally must have just stuck his fingers up at the directors who went to his house. The absolute disrespect what's coming from Izak is just on another level to what Vissa's done, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
what you've just read out, by the way, 2 seconds in, just on what Kevin was saying on his statement before, the statement that he's put out is there's so much more information in that. All right, it was a lot longer, and I know Kev only read out a little bit, but even what Kev read out,
Wissa's statement
this is the point though, even that part that you read out had so much more information than Izak's most vague kind of, I'll put this out on, I'll just put it out. Oh, promises were broken.
Everybody goes.
What promises, Izak? Well, this is what I said the last time. What promises? And who on earth in that kind of level of profession takes word of mouth with no recording, nothing written down? You don't. It's so unprofessional from his side of things. So he deserves everything he gets, which is nothing. Go for it, Ian.
The extra point I was going to make was I think Wissa has trained with his teammates, has made himself available for selection, and it's Keith Andrews' decision not to pick him in the first 2 games of the Premier League season. So it is a different situation.
Huge.
And I don't know. I don't know if his statement will make any difference or not. It shouldn't do. I'd prefer Strand-Larsen anyway because he's not 8 weeks off in the middle of the season to go to the Africa Cup of Nations.
All right, let's go into this then. So Strand-Larsen, as Ian just said there, has also been linked with Newcastle. He didn't play this weekend, which was, again, it was a little bit of a shock because he came off the bench in the Cup to score 2 goals. I think the issue here for a lot of Newcastle fans, and I'm not going to speak for everybody, but the price tag, we made a bid of 50, 55, I think 60 was rejected as well. It might have been 55 up to 60.
55, yeah.
That's a lot of money for a player who's only had 14 goals in the Premier League. But I mean, again, it's for Eddie Howe effect, isn't it? We're excited I'm excited about Fernando Berbatov because of what Eddie Howe could do with Fernando Berbatov.
I can't take
it. I'm going to call him that for the whole time.
I love that.
Right? I'm excited with Fernando Berbatov because I think what could Eddie Howe do with him? With 2 metre Messi, right? That's another one. If you want to have that one with 2 metre Messi, the way he dribbles is unbelievable. I'm excited at the thought of Howe with Strand-Larsen. I'm excited at the thought of Howe with Wieser, but let's face it, both of them kind of want to leave. I think Strand-Larsen very politely, according to Fabrizio Romano, very politely informed Wolves that he would like to go. That was the statement which was put out. And I think this is going mental. It's all because of Izak, by the way. I have very politely informed the club that I would like to join Newcastle. This is nuts. Strand-Larsen, man, I think we're probably only going to get one, guys. I don't think we're going to get both, but let me know if you think we might get both. And it's only going to be one more signing, and then we'll wrap it up. So I'm going to come to Ian first this time. Ian, is it going to be one more signing only, and it'll be out of them two? Or are we just going to sign one of them two and somebody else? What's happening, Ian? Predict the close of a transfer window tonight.
Well, I think we'll get a striker. I think we'll have a choice of the pair of them, to be fair.
Oh, nice.
In the end, or probably it'll be Wissa because Wolves if Wolves let Strand-Larsen go, they're signing their own suicide note for surviving the Premiership. Because of all the people who scored goals last year, Cunha's gone. If Strand-Larsen goes, and they sold Ait Nuri, by the way, who was the third highest scorer with 4. They've not got very many Premier League goals there. But I do think there's going to be a sneaky little midfielder join us. But maybe not a signing, but on loan with an obligation to buy to come in later on. Fratesi keeps getting mentioned. He's a fabulous player. But I don't know how serious these references to the Barcelona lad Fermin are.
Yeah, he looks nailed on for Chelsea
looking for a move.
Yeah, keeps coming up.
I would like to. I'd like that to happen because we'd have Fermin in midfield and Vermin sitting on the bench.
Izak is over. My goodness. So Ian thinks we're going to get 2 more, maybe a midfielder. I would love Fratesi. If Ian's right on Fratesi, and then maybe Wissa, what a window. It's our best window for years. Joe, how are you feeling, man, about kind of this deadline tonight? What's happening?
I reckon we're definitely getting a striker in Izak's gone. That's my prediction, right, for 7 p.m. tonight. I reckon we're going to sign a striker and Liverpool are going to come in with like at least 130 for Izak and we're going to sell him and we're all going to absolutely be over the moon. And going back to what you just said, it's actually a bloody excellent window if that happens. Let's get real. If we want to break down who we've brought in so far and the potential of what I've just said, and if Ian's bang on and we get another midfielder as well, I mean, we're talking an unreal window. It's went from being tragic a few weeks ago, everyone on panic stations.
I wasn't.
And don't get wrong. All right, you were being you happy to clap yourself.
I was way too positive to be a Toon fan, if you remember.
Thanks, very Ian. True. Yeah, you are clapping like the special one.
That's my Kev impression.
It was beautiful, Ian. It's perfect.
Like that
it's bang
all the
time, It's true though, but like no, we weren't panicking, but we were a bit negative, Ian, weren't we? I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I did get.
It just was so frustrating. So frustrating. So many strikers saying, but we were saying we're shopping in the wrong market, weren't we? We're going for strikers that Chelsea or Liverpool or Man U would want, and actually we've been a bit sneaky and kept it quiet and gone and got Valtemada, who Bayern Munich were after.
I was going to say we took it off Bayern.
Bayern Munich.
Oh, Berbatov.
Oh,
Right, got you.
Oh, sorry.
Fernando Berber Crouch.
Please get that on the
him.
back of your shirt,
Thank you.
Kev. Get a shirt with Berber Crouch on
Like
the
a
back,
Berber
please.
Crouch 27 on the back.
Please.
I might do that.
Please do. You got it, man.
F Berber Crouch.
Yeah.
I do think the loan market is still open to us. Michael would has always said we need another left back.
I think just keep
I don't know
Tino.
if we do. If Tino's going to be left back, but we've got rid of Target. We've got Hall. I don't know who the next one down from that is.
Burn?
Dan Burn. But we want
Yeah.
Dan Burn to be but we want Dan Burn to be a centre half, don't we?
Yeah, but you got
That's
Chow
his
and
position.
Botman.
We've got a lot to cover in the middle now, though, haven't we?
Yeah. It's exciting.
It's good. There's cover. There's cover.
I think personally, before we round off, I think I want Izak to go. So my prediction is going to be that Izak goes. I just think, like I said earlier, if we wait too long and he doesn't play, we lose an opportunity to really shake off the PSR shackles, which we've been begging for as Newcastle fans for ages to shake them shackles off. So let's get Izak out. Let's get some big money from it. Might not be the 150 we want, but it might be 120 rising to 130. I would take that right now. And I think we will definitely get one more striker. I think out of Wissa and Strand-Larsen, it's probably going to be Wissa. I think, like Ian said, Wolves need Strand-Larsen too much. Brentford, even though they've lost and haven't started the season well, it looks like Wissa kind of desperate and pushing for that move. So I think we'll get Wissa in. I'd love to see Fratesi, but I don't know if that'll happen. But it's going to be an exciting day. How many transfer windows recently have we went into the fan day? I think it's going to be exciting. So, hey, this is going to be good. Let's enjoy it. 7 p.m. tonight it closes. I really hope there's 2 more in an Izak exit, but we will see. Anyway, I'm off to get Fernando Berber Crouch on the back of my new shirt, and you'll hear from us tomorrow after the window closes. Thank you very much.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
I love soccer.